McLaren 720S, and as the title of this video would suggest, we're not actually on the way to McLaren for the launch of a new car. We're on our way for the launch of a new phone. Now, I know this isn't something that McLaren necessarily specialize in, but they do specialize in awesome design and making things fast. And from what I've been told up front, that's what the theme of this phone launch is all about. And I like bringing you guys new, fresh content. So after this, let me know in the comments below if you want to see new tech stuff, because with the launch of MVN London, we've got lots of tech coming to the lounge. Anyway, we'll see you at McLaren. We've arrived now. I know we're here for the launch of a new phone, but I did just mention MVN London, and conveniently here's a demonstration of a car that more than any I've seen requires the benefit of PPF. Look, during the winter, the amount of dirt this car collects under here. This is just like the most solid impact zone ever. And I think this is installation from factory, but it's definitely a car that you need to get PPF. Most of the time you don't see it, but imagine if you open that door and it hadn't been done. They look absolutely peppered. Anyway, what's really cool is that we are in a totally different location than normal. We're not going inside the sort of factory entrance, we're going inside this, what I can only describe as somewhat of a James Bond layer of places to launch. So let's head inside and I'll show you what's what. Okay, before we get any further into this place, just look, I mean, you've seen what we've just walked through. Look up here. This whole place is underground right now. So we've got a layer that goes downstairs, a layer that goes upstairs, but still underground. And what we've done is come into a sort of atrium that connects to the main factory. And what they've got here is this underground, this sort of subterranean launch pod environment. You'll see what I mean in a minute. The last time I was here in this exact location was for the launch of the 720S. Since then I've been into their secret room for the Senna and the Speedtail, but today we're here for something entirely different. So let's head downstairs, see what's what. First port of call, strong black coffee. So look who it is. I literally said goodbye to this gentleman 2 days ago.
So awkward.
Thinking I would never see him again.
We cried. It was really emotional. I'll see you in 2020.
We even followed up with a couple of tweets.
20 minutes.
But lo and behold, we're both here talking about a subject we know nothing about.
Literally no clue.
It should be fun. We were just saying, in our world, we come to car launches and discuss our angles when more than two of us are on the same launch. And yet here we are. I mean, I think the entire tech industry is here, and they're all filming something this big, and it's going to explode the internet. I don't know.
I think if you were a traditional tech journalist, you'd be more cross than a traditional auto journalist, because everyone in here is vlogging or Instagramming. Like, there's no one like there like interesting.
No, everyone's vlogging.
Traditional tech journalist, dead.
Gone.
Dead.
Gone are the days. Everyone's
Apologies.
live streaming. It is what it. I wonder when the day will be when the car world looks like this. Because we can't. When we go to a car launch, we kind of stand out like a sore thumb.
We do. It's always awkward. It's a bit uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable.
But
this will be fun.
I think a traditional journalist would stick out like
We'll stick out like a sore thumb. There's no pens and notepads here. Gone. Well, when I was saying this is some kind of James Bond layer type of launch pad, I wasn't joking. Look at it, it's unreal.
I am very excited to be here today to share with you the news that we'll be partnering with OnePlus to create the OnePlus McLaren 6T handset.
Salute to speed indeed. Now, I've just been in the presentation to launch this phone. Very interesting, very cool. When they said they were launching it in a book, they weren't joking, but here's the box. So I've just been given the box to the OnePlus McLaren edition phone. Now, I've been told that these are going to be running pretty limited edition in the UK. In fact, globally, a representative from OnePlus told me that they estimate to be only around about 2,000 phones of these in the UK. So When it comes to cars, that's a big number. But when it comes to phones, that's a tiny number. So, let's unbox it. This is it. Look at that. How gorgeous. Fast and smooth indeed. Gorgeous packaging. And here is the book. I just ping this out like that, and there's the book. Now, interestingly, the OnePlus branding has always been red, which means the cable you got with it was red, the plug you got with it was red. On this, cable is orange, adapter is orange, and even the end of the plug is orange, with a little orange insert there for where the USB slot's in. Now, what's very specific about this particular Pantone or color of orange is that it is papaya orange, which is the McLaren branding of orange, which was actually first launched, or should I say applied to a car when Bruce McLaren was racing his cars all the way back in the day. So this is a very nice touch and nod to the brand. And this is the Salute to Speed book, which has been, that was well timed, which has been commissioned and written together with McLaren, dedicated to those in constant pursuit of speed. This is where the phone itself is housed. So you get this book, and there's a few pages of awesomeness. You keep going, and then lo and behold, here is the phone itself. Boom. Right there, with inside the book. It is gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. Ping it out here. There's something about packaging. It just transforms the whole experience. And there it is. It feels beautiful in the hand. It really is gorgeous. And there we are, the OnePlus. Now, what's particularly convenient is that the McLaren behind me, over my shoulder, is painted in a very unique paint job where you can see the carbon fiber weave in the car, and it has this gradient that goes over the bonnet and down towards the top of the roofline of the car and then fades back into paint. And interestingly, they've applied a very similar theme to the back of this phone. Now, if you catch it in the right light, you can see that there's a very subtle exposed carbon weave underneath the backing of the phone. A really nice nod to, I would say, the primary material that McLaren use in order to build their cars. That car, the 720S, is built on an all-carbon fiber monocoque, which McLaren call Monocage 2, which is very lightweight and very strong. And this has a similar design theme going on the back of the phone. Now, continuing the theme of orange, which is papaya orange, they have also given this lovely bezel trim here in papaya orange, which has this also similar themed gradient that grades out as you get to the top of the phone. It's really nice, and you've got the McLaren logo at the bottom of the phone right here. So this is the first phone in the world to feature fingerprint recognition without a button. It just scans it through the screen. That's very cool, which minimizes any kind of buttons and notches. Speaking of notches, there is one for the front-facing camera, but not as big as something that you might find on a new iPhone, for example. Now let's just run through the specs to compare that with, let's face it, the benchmark of the industry, which, as far as I'm concerned, is the latest, greatest iPhone. Spec highlights for this phone is all to do with speed, and that's why they have collaborated with McLaren on this in order to, I guess, represent that theme of speed and design. Now, in order to make this phone bonkers fast, it is the only phone in the world to have 10 gigabytes of RAM. Now, in computer terms, that doesn't sound too much, but take the latest iPhone XS Max, for example. That's running just 4 gigabytes of RAM, and it's not exactly a slow phone. But this, they've optimized the software and the hardware to accelerate the speed even further. Very, very cool feature. 10 gigabytes of RAM? That's bonkers. And continuing with the theme of speed, it hasn't stopped at the RAM. They've also increased the charging speed dramatically. So you can go from 0 to full battery charge in 20 minutes. That's nuts. So that could even allow you to sort of change your routine. Say you're used to charging your battery when you go to bed at night, you could easily charge this phone while you're brushing your teeth. It's that quick. Now, you might think, well, that's not that convenient, but it kind of is. But think about this. They've engineered it so that you can charge the phone while gaming, for example. Now, typically when you're gaming, you're using the full processing capability of the phone. That's when they get nice and hot in your hands. But imagine being able to charge as you game faster than the phone is depleting the battery. That's a very nice feature. And let's turn it on. OnePlus, powered by Android. It's so glossy. Now then, something very trick, which has been taken from the McLaren Formula One pits, is the animation which appears on the home screen of the phone. Now, this has been taken from the screens which are used in McLaren's Formula One pits. They play in the background, they play in front of drivers, but there is this wallpaper, dare I say it, on the background of the phone, which replicates that of the screens used in the F1 pits. It's this animated hexagonal shapes, which has this papaya orange glow behind them as they pulsate. It's a very nice feature. Once you've gone through the initial setup of the phone, you then have this salute to speed augmented reality option that is unique to this phone, okay? So you can use and interact with the pages of the book with the camera to reveal secrets within the phone and within the book. Just gives you more information on McLaren's Formula One cars and history and things like that. But that's nice to see that initially, as soon as you've started up the phone, they already immerse you in a unique McLaren experience. And you can start discovering that right away. So sticking with the McLaren theme, there is literally a McLaren theme on the phone. If you go to settings and then wallpapers, just below wallpapers is themes. And normally you would have colorful, light and dark, but there is a new edition of McLaren, which is exclusive to this phone, which sort of sticks with the McLaren branding, theme and feel. It's all very cool stuff. Now, for me, as someone who creates content, let's just take, wow, I mean, I couldn't have a more appropriate picture. Salute to speed indeed. And there you have it. It's fast. Just interacting with this, it feels fast. But the photo is crisp. And it's really doing a good job of depth of field. I've got the soft focus of the salute to speed box in the foreground with the appropriately placed McLaren Senna in the background. Very cool stuff. Anyway, I'm planning on spending some time with this phone, and then if you guys enjoy unboxings and tech reviews and things like that, it is, despite the fact that this is a concentrated car channel, somewhat of a passion of mine. So particularly with the launch of NVN London coming soon, there is going to be some pretty fancy tech installations in there which we might be able to go a lot further into. So if you do want to check out some more tech, let me know in the comments below. It's something I haven't delved too deep into, but launches like this get me pretty excited. So let me know if you want some more, I'll bring you some more. Anyway, there's a gorgeous McLaren Senna outside, which is very, very tasty, with a unique feature that is quite relatable to the style of this phone. Let's go check it out. There we have it. What an awesome day. It's a totally different vibe when you go to tech launches versus car launches, but equally fascinating stuff. That is the alarm that I've got low fuel, so we're gonna have to stop for some juice on the way back home. But now I find myself in the awesome position of having two phones. Now I'm gonna have to activate this properly. I don't have it, set up to my profile or account or connected to any form of internet. But what I'm gonna be doing, because for me, one of the important things on a smartphone is the camera, because I put lots of content up, particularly for Instagram. So the idea is that I will be living with the phone for a few weeks, and every time I put up a picture on my Instagram with the use of that camera, I'll be sure to tag it so you guys get a good feel for it. Anyway, if you've liked this kind of content, please be sure to let me know in the comments. As always, thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Your subscription is my oxygen. Ciao.